Dude, if I was a banker, and I was a piece of shit banker, I would be so fucking paranoid that someone was going to whack me for all the misery and suffering that I fucking, that I've been causing. The fact that I turned a fucking pond into my own jacuzzi, right? I can park my yacht in my fucking jacuzzi. And I just sit there, eating fucking crab legs and caviar every fucking day, standing on fucking dead babies' heads. There's no fucking way I would ever get in a fucking town car. There's no way. There's no way. I would have whoever my Fredo, of my litter of kids, whoever the Fredo was, that was to be the guy that I had driving the car. Although in The Godfather, he was looking out for Marlon Brando, and then he got shot, right? So, I don't fucking know. Anyways. Oh, I read some really interesting shit about how Iceland beat the bankers. When Iceland went bankrupt, and then the bankers tried to pull this shit where, yeah, we were greedy cunts, and now we're putting the debt on you and your taxpayers. They said, you know what? Fuck you. This isn't our debt. This isn't our mess. It's yours. And then all these fucking sellout cunts like fucking Amsterdam and Britain put all this pressure on fucking Iceland. Because they pussied out with the bankers. They've been on their knees sucking that banker cock for fucking ever. They tried to fucking get them to come along. They tried to pressure them, and or else we'll turn you into the Cuba of the North. And they said, fuck you. We're not doing it. And you know what? That's what this country should have done. This country should have told those banker fucking cunts. I'm beside myself that it isn't brought up more. It's the whole thing. Like, I have water damage to my house. My insurance company sends a check that's made out to me, Nia, and then my mortgage company. And we have to sign the check over to them so they keep the money. And you know why that is? Because they fucked so many people so fucking hard in the ass. So many people are upside down in houses because of the bullshit that they created by making people who aren't qualified for loans qualified. So instead of having 5 people bid on a house, you got 10 people bidding on it, and it goes up like Super Bowl tickets, right? And all of a sudden, a house that's really worth $180 sells for $270. So you got these cunts. Everybody's fucking upside down in the house. So they're like, well, fuck it, I'm keeping this money. And then when they foreclose on it, they fucking come in, and they're like, fuck, they never fixed the roof. So now I have to sign over my goddamn money. It's my money. It's my insurance. That's my insurance money. I have to send it into them. You know why? Because, people, it's not my house. It's their fucking house. It's theirs. All right? And if I ever pay this fucker off, which I'm gonna, I drive a 6-year-old hybrid. All right? I don't give a fuck. I dress like Malcolm Young because I'm getting these cunts out of my life. And this is what's going to happen. I'm going to pay off this fucking house. And you think when I die, I can just give it to somebody else? It's my house, right? If I can fucking give away all my other shit, why can't I give the house? The house is going to have all taxes and all these penalties and all this bullshit. And whoever I fucking leave it to is going to be like, you know what? It's just going to be easier to sell it. And then they sell it. And whatever money they make, they get the shit taxed out of them. They get half a dick in their ass. And then somebody else buys this thing. And then the bank goes balls deep in them for another fucking 30 years. You know what? Halfway through that, I realized, am I sounding crazy or am I making sense? I don't know. I talked to a banker in a titty bar. He agreed with everything I said. I've been watching a bunch of shit on Netflix. I'm big on I like documentaries, and I watched 1.5 last night before I fell asleep. I watched this thing called The Queen of Versailles, which you have to see, and it's basically about this guy, 75 years old. 75 years old. He married Miss Florida in 1993, so he's fucking balling. Has 7 kids with her, right? And he's got this, he sells timeshares, which, is really a shady fucking business. Hey, I don't, what is it, fucking timeshare? It's a fucking overpriced hotel room, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. What am I buying? If I spend all that money, I don't want to be laying in a bed that somebody else has been fucking in. I want a brand new bed, okay? That's deal number one. Because other than that, I can go lay in a bed that everybody else fucked in all year long. It's called a hotel, right? But this guy was the biggest timeshare company in the world, according to him. And he was in the middle of building the biggest house in America, and it had 10 kitchens. There's fucking 9 people in their family. They have one more kitchen than they have people in their family. All right? You have to watch just to see them. I mean, it's not finished yet because in 2008 they got caught up on all the banker shit. And but you just have to see when his wife walks in with her friend, and when they walk up these stairs, I'm telling you, these fucking stairs are wider than the stairs at Grand Central Station in New York City. They go upstairs, and the fucking friend of the Miss 1993 Florida is like, because they haven't like put the walls up, it's just the framing of it. She goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "Is that your bedroom?" And she goes, "No, it's my closet." It's But if you really want to see, okay, now a lot of people will watch the Queen of Versailles and go, "Look at these two selfish fucking people and all the waste and all that." Abso-fucking-lutely. That's on the fucking surface. But underneath all of it, you see a guy who doesn't want to declare bankruptcy and put that money on the American people and wants to fight his way out of it, and the bankers won't do it. Like, he had a building out in fucking Vegas. He put $350 million of his own fucking money in, and now he can't make the payments. So he wants the bankers to try and, give him some of the bailout money, and they kept all of it. Because this is the thing. If they get him to default on that, they get to keep his $350 million and sell the fucking building all over again. And obviously this guy, he got overextended. He made the mistake of not realizing, what bankers are and what it is that they do. They're not your friends. They're not trying to help you grow your fucking business. They're trying to make every fucking dime off you as they can. And when it's over, you bust the joint out. I just started thinking about the fucking Goodfellas. Well, they start burning it down. But rather than burning the place down, it's you. The Ray Liotta and fucking Joe Pesci are fucking tying those little candle things to you. Trying to bang this fucking Jew broad over here. You can't help me out? What's the world coming to? And then you burn to the ground. That's it. But the building's still standing. And then they get some other group to go in there. And then they fuck them in the ass. I'm telling you. We should all, as civilians, you remember the ending of Scarface when they were coming over the wall? That's what we should be doing right now in gated communities, going to bankers' fucking houses. We should be dragging them out by the tassels of their fucking wingtips. New house. Dearest Billy Boy, keeping it short and sweet due to your undying hatred for reading out loud. I actually don't mind it. I hate sounding stupid. My fiance and I are moving into our first house on Friday. Any last minute advice? Yes. Well, it's too late. You already bought a fucking house. My first thing would be drive less of a car. Wear less clothes. Everything less. And start knocking out the principal. All right? You got to start knocking that fucking thing down. And once you knock it down to a certain point, then they're going to come at you and be like, "Hey, do you want to refinance? You want to refinance? Look, your mortgage payment will go from $1,500 down to $1,200. That'll save you $300 a month." That's all a fucking scam. Okay? Do you really think there's somebody who works at the bank and his job, and he's sitting there going, "How can this bank make less money?" Oh, I know what. I mean, how long would that guy work there before he get fired? It's a scam. Because what happens is if you're like 4 or 5 years into your mortgage, they're going to refinance it, and your payment doesn't go down $300 and you're still 5 years in. It starts back at zero. All right? Now you have that payment for 30 years, and you're starting all fucking over again. So the $300 that you're saving each month, they're making more in the fucking interest in the long run because they sent you back to square one. It's all a fucking scam. I'm telling you, go to the gated communities and go over the fucking wall. Don't really do that, all right? I don't want to be held responsible for that. These are all jokes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, here's a nice creepy thing. It's really not a nice creepy thing. It's just sort of a fucking creepy thing. So we rented this car when we drove up to Edmonton from Calgary. And we had the thing. Actually, we picked it up at the airport. And, we were driving over to the casino. That's what it was. Driving over to the casino. And I just look on the dashboard. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is that on the I'm like, is that a camera? I think it was a camera. And I think it was pointed at us because there was nothing in the front. I don't know if it was the GPS antenna. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was really creepy. So I, of course, threw a fucking newspaper over the goddamn thing. And when I got back to the hotel, I looked up about cars and cameras, and I found this article here. It says, is your rental car company spying on you and your driving? Here's how they do it. All right. Rental car giant Hertz has admitted it has cameras installed in about 1 in 8 of its cars in the United States, but those cameras built into Hertz's never-lost dashboard assistant that offers routing help and local city guides have never been turned on. Give me a fucking... Really? You spent all that money and you never turned them on, you lying cunts? Hertz has said loudly and repeatedly they've never turned them on. Understand that Neverlost 6 was launched by Hertz in early 2014. The product has been out there for over a year, and only now is it causing flap, probably because most renters began noticing a creepy camera pointed at them. Understand, too, there are excellent reasons to worry about car rental companies spying on drivers, but very probably Neverlost 6 is not one of them. Hertz said it lacked the bandwidth to use the cameras anyway, but it is scorched so severely in the media flap of the past weeks that industry experts indicated that Hertz now would be just about the last company to spy on its customers. Does any of that make any sense? That you'd put a camera in there and then you wouldn't use it? You'd install a camera and, we're just a little mom and pop place. We don't have the fucking bandwidth for it. Some of this shit's funny. They actually find some people like hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars using this shit. And basically, when you rent a car and they go, okay, you got to stay in the tri-state area or you're not leaving California, right? Some fucking guy, he left California, went to Nevada and then Arizona. And then they gave him I don't know where the fuck it was. He was slapped with a bill of $3,405.05 by adding $1 per mile to each of the 2874 miles he had driven because he had crossed the California state line into Nevada. To me, that's funny. Okay? Because that guy's a piece of shit. He lied to the car company. All right? I'm not just saying Hertz is a piece of shit. People who buy rental cars and they treat them like shit are also pieces of shit. But but to sit there and film people and then, they're going to start recording conversations. Do you understand, like, in the future? Okay, you go to run for president, like, what could, like, bring you down is some fucked up thing you said, some argument you had in the car with some girlfriend you're not even with 20 years earlier, and they just bring that up in the middle of the debate. Like, I think in the future, like, once you become a public figure, they will just have on a disc, and it's all going to be logged. Anything you ever fucking did, like questionable shit, good shit that you did, all the balance, they'll probably just have like a pie chart. Okay, here's his life disc, and the good stuff is in whatever, green or yellow, man, right? All the nice, friendly fucking colors. And then the bad shit will be all in like red. I don't know if you're prone to depression, there'll be like some blue in there. And they'll just look at the big pie chart and try to judge it then overall what kind of a fucking person you are. I don't know, it's really creepy. This is another one that was funny to me. It says in Florida, rental car companies are notorious for literally shutting off engines of cars that cross state lines. The cars may be restarted upon agreement to pay the new fees. That's fucking hilarious. Now here's my question.
How do you know they're not in the left lane doing 90 miles an hour with somebody on that bumper and you're just going to shut off their car? You have to wait until the car stops. I would like to think that. But I don't know. Part of me, I don't mind if they track you with the GPS as far as that, and if you leave the state lines. I mean, that's only fair. You're fucking lying to them and the technology exists. But that shit to start recording conversations and videotaping you is like, I don't know, man. That really crosses a line. I don't know. Some people say, well, what about all these assholes texting and driving? They're killing people and that type of shit. There has to be a better way. What do you guys think? There's got to be a better way to keep. I mean, I don't even know how safe you have to make the world. I mean, there's too many fucking people. Can you let some people die? I mean, I know that's really morbid to say that shit, but I don't know. I'm kind of a fucked up person. So why would you listen to me? Why would you listen to this podcast?
Here's some conspiracy theory for you. Somebody said, Bill, he wrote, they are watching. And I got trashed for talking about conspiracy theory. I've been trashed for talking about those automated checkout lines in the grocery store and saying that I'm paranoid and I'm afraid of technology and all this technology is just going to help my life and make my life more easier. And why don't you trust these big fucking corporations, basically. It's the shit that people are giving me. So after getting trashed for all, talking shit about all these corporations and actually having the audacity to think that bankers were all trying to team up and have one world bank, to become the loan sharks for not only individual, but actual countries. Okay? Which is something that I was thinking about when I was at the Rose Bowl, stone sober. And I was sitting there on the golf course, and I was looking at these houses up on the ridge of this hill that actually looked down on the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. These people have a house that looks down on it. And I was actually envisioning that those were all bankers up there. And while the game was going on, and 104,000 people, or 96,000, whoever showed up for that game, were sitting there going fucking crazy. One of those piece of shit bankers up there could put his hand on his son's shoulder and be like, see all those people down there? They owe all of us money. They all owe me money, son. I'm getting a piece of all of their fucking paychecks. And they don't even know it. They don't even know that their daddy is looking down on them right now. Now, had I been drinking, that thought would have probably caused me to, entertain the thought of climbing up that hill and throwing a rock through one of the windows, which, of course, I wouldn't have done because even my drunkest, I am aware that I don't want to go to jail and get raped. And secondly, I'm not going to go all the way up that fucking hill. So what I would have done is I probably would have yelled at that kid with the light purple slacks. I would have commented really loud about that dude's fucking eczema flaking off into the back of his goddamn sweatshirt. So anyways, this guy sends me this email, and he says, Bill, the theys in this blog, when I say they are watching, are big business, not the Illuminati, but they are just as evil as any bank or secret society. They don't even need your signature. Listen to this shit. They don't even need your signature for these information gathering traderware programs to monitor everything from where the device is to what your heart rate is. What is traderware? That's the question I had. Your digital camera may embed metadata into photographs with camera's serial number or your location. Your printer may be incorporating a secret code on every page it prints, which could be used to identify the printer and potentially the person who used it. Now the fucking morons, the sheep out there would be like, yeah, that's in case you threaten the president. They're just doing it for the good of all people. If Apple puts a particularly creepy patent, I guess Apple's applying for this. Is it recently applied for the use you can look forward to a day when your iPhone may record your voice, take a picture of your location, record your heartbeat, and send that information back to the mothership. This is traderware, devices that act behind your back and betray your privacy. Now, this is what the moron sheep are going to be to say. Well, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, what's the problem? That's the philosophy. That was the philosophy behind why they can record your phone calls now. If you ain't doing nothing, we're chasing you. Come on, frogs. If you ain't doing nothing wrong. Do you realize how fucking dumb that mindset is? So basically, as long as you do what the people in power tell you what to do, you won't have a problem. Do you understand how dangerous that is? Do you understand how fucking stupid it is to have that level of faith in the people who rule you? You know what I mean? You haven't noticed how much power can fuck somebody over? Like, for some reason, we only seem to focus on when celebrities get famous and then they wig out and start becoming these fucking mini tyrants. For some reason, people don't feel... They just have like this, because they wave the flag and they play those songs that make you choked up, that they never feel like that they'll have any sort of ulterior motive for this. This is the type of technology that allows a small group of people to take over the world. Something that sociopaths have been trying to do since the beginning of time. And they were never able to do it because at some point your army would be stretched too thin. Right? The Germans, the fucking Roman Empire, all that shit. At some point, the fucking Japanese, all of them. Everybody who's ever tried to fucking do it, at some point, it gets stretched too thin. So America, what we've done is we've done the we're putting this base here to protect you thing, that brilliant thing. That's how we got our world empire. So we just have a base. Then also we have these insane weapons where we can nuke everybody. So we were able to kind of do it that way. But the problem is when you really get into sociopathic thought and just like those people who are so into power that it makes their dick hard, is they want to know, they want to be able to see everybody, know what they're thinking, and know what they're doing at all times. Because not only are they psychos, but with that level of power becomes this unbelievable level of paranoia. Like those people with those houses sitting on the ridge looking down into the Rose Bowl. There's a fear. Like we sit there looking up at them, go, look, they got the fucking world. There is a fear of when you attain that level of wealth of losing all of it. And you begin on this quest to quiet your mind. You want to get a level of wealth and control in your life that you are guaranteed that it will never go away in your lifetime or your kid's lifetime or your kid's kids. So basically everybody that you know and love will be okay and you will be okay. You get into that psychotic fucking mindset and you give those kinds of people this level of fucking technology and you're going to have a problem. I think that's unbelievable that this shit is. So they have this website here, the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, that is trying to fight these things being put into the tech, the cameras, the cell phones and all that shit. Like the fact that there's a tracking device in your cell phone. Like, how come we didn't get to vote on that? How come we don't get to vote on that type of stuff? I don't want people knowing where the fuck I am at all goddamn times. Okay? And I don't need you to show me, oh, we caught this fucking child molester with that. So because of that, now everybody has to be like, give me a fucking break. They always have like, there's, a handful of good examples for that level of fucking control. And then there's a zillion bad ones. So I am 100% against this shit. And there's always been evil people in the fucking world. There's always going to be evil fucking people in the world, and when you have this kind of technology, you're gonna stop. They're gonna stop small evil, like individual, a fucking serial rapist, which you definitely want to stop. All right, but the price we're gonna pay is you're gonna allow a Stalin or a Hitler, Pol Pot, whoever the fuck you want to. You're gonna with that level of technology. Someone like that could get in power and run the fucking world. So, I don't know. And I totally 100% believe that. You could roll all your fucking eyes all you want. I honestly believe that. And I also believe that the reason why there's so many of us right now and that the people at the top are not fucking concerned about it is because we're all expendable. And when the waters rise up,
the temperatures goes up and everything, they're not going to be the ones who are drowning. You can guarantee that they're using our taxpayer money to build some sort of something to make sure that they're okay. And I think that their bailout plan, because they know they can't stop people from fucking because it feels too goddamn good, and dicks and pussies are readily available to anyone. It's like air, you know? So I think what they're going to gradually do is phase us out with robots and automated shit, which is why I refuse to use it. Now, how fucking crazy do I sound right now? Has there been anything funny in the last fucking 5? This is shit that I truly believe. You know, corporations own like the DNA of a grizzly bear. That's why they don't give a fuck that they're cutting down its habitat. They're like, I will fucking grow another one in a petri dish. We're trying to take over everything. And then wipe out, I think they're going to try to wipe out the poor and the middle class. Keep a couple of us, like a small handful of us, you know, the way that pandas are only in like zoos at this point or some shit. I don't know. Maybe I picked the wrong fucking animal, but that's the direction I think it's going. All right? There's your first crazy rant, which was based mainly in gut feelings and a couple of emails. But I truly believe that.